Hi guys, Laura here. I'm here today to start a new reading vlog. This is a weekend reading vlog. It is also the weekend of Memorial Day. Now, when we are not in the grip of COVID-19, this is normally the weekend that I prep to go to BEA and BookCon, but that's not in the cards this year, unfortunately. But I'm still trying to enjoy myself and I it is the tail end of May, so I am still doing the middle grade Mayhem prompt from the TBR and Beyond reading group. So I do have a couple of reads around that that I am going to focus on. So let's just dive into that. But the first book I'm going to focus on is Ghost Squad by Claribel L. Ortega. This is a middle grade book that is like the featured read in that reading group. It's also a book that starts with a G, which is one of the prompts. So I really hope to read this one relatively quickly. It's really not that long. It's um, a little bit over 200 pages. So I hope to finish this one rather quickly. But it has a cute cover, and I did pick this up from ALA. And also, I did hear from Corey and Owl Craig, because I've been watching a lot of her videos recently, that Bonecryer Moon is the book that they're reading this month for the Owl Crate Book Club. So I do think I'm going to read the first 11 chapters of this week or before Thursday. So I'm going to try to read this weekend. And then the next book that I'm going to focus on is, there's actually a couple for this prompt because it's read a book from their pin post, and they have a lot of middle grades. Surprisingly, not ones that I'm currently want to read, but I am torn between reading The Calling of Morgan Crow or The Screaming Staircase. So those are the two that I'm going to be pulling from for that prompt whenever I get around to it. And then my audiobook that I'm in the middle of listening to when I'm not listening to my podcasts is A Royal Guide to Monster Slaying. So that is all of my reading plans for this weekend. But I'm going to go start Ghost Squad, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts. It's really not that long of a book, but I'm hopeful that I can tackle it pretty quickly. But I'm going to go do that, and I will update you guys when I have a little bit of reading update. Bye, guys. It's 9 o'clock. I just want to do a quick check-in. I did wind up reading about 35 pages of Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega. This is another ghost hunting themed book, which I think is like a really, really fun way to structure a novel. But it basically follows this girl named Lucia, and she is, I think she's, I feel like I'm gonna get this wrong, but I think she believes in ghosts, and there are ghosts that like live in her house that only she can see. So she has like her grandmother, and she has like all these older people, relatives that are ghosts that only she can see. And her dad also runs a ghost like a haunted house. But they're in a little bit of dire straits. And at the start of the book, she's trying to help her dad out, but something goes wrong, and her grandmother's ghost just kind of vanishes. And that's kind of all that I've read so far, but I really am liking it. It has Lucy as a main character, and her best friend Sid is also a character. But it's just really, really fun. I read a book about a ghost, like a haunted house. I think it was last year, and it was by Alexandra Bracken. It was the Prospero Redding series. That wasn't my favorite series. I really struggled with the world building, but this world building is really easy to understand, and I'm really, really liking it. I'm also loving the the elements of like diversity. I think that that's super fun. It says it in it, but I think it definitely has like a Dominican vibe to it, or based around that culture, which I'm really liking. I might be wrong though, so don't come at me in the comments. But I'm really, really liking it. I'm already like 35 pages in. I just think it's so sweet. I can't wait to see what happens next. I know that Lucy is really hoping to not only save her 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 home from basically being foreclosed on, but also to try to get her grandmother back. And they're about to go meet someone named Babette. So I'm gonna go keep reading, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. Larry here. It's 9 o'clock. I just woke up. I got dressed. I read a little bit of Ghost Squad. I'm now on page 50. The characters have learned a little bit more about the Dominican witch population, which I think is going to inspire them to do some crazy and dangerous things for little 11-year-olds. But I really am liking it. I think it's a very, very sweet read. I think it's very representative of the Dominican culture. I like how that's really, really a big play in. I like that it focuses on two young girls. I really, really like it. I love the haunted house as like a backdrop. I love the presence of ghosts. It's just a very, very fun read. I'm gonna keep reading. I think I'm gonna try to go to a yoga class. It was pouring raining outside. I might try to get some work done later, like for posting and stuff like that. I'll probably try to do that later. I also have a Boy Meets World panel I'm going to go to today, which is really exciting. But yeah, that's my plans of attack. I'll take you guys along as I always do. But I'm gonna go read a little bit more of Ghost Squad. Bye. Just checking back in. It's 12:16. I did wind up doing my yoga class, and I did wind up reading a little bit more of Ghost Squad. I'm now on page about 100. I'm on page 94. But I'm really liking this book. It's definitely a fast-paced read. I do like the elements of Ghost. I do like how it is inspired by Dominican history or Dominican like folklore and myths. Really do like the two main characters. I'm excited to see where the story goes. There is definitely elements of like mystery and intrigue on several sides. This book is very, very complicated. Like, there's a lot of different plot points. There's a plot point about Lucia trying to save her family's haunted house. And then there's the element of her ancestors' ghost kind of vanishing, especially her grandma. And then there's like a conspiracy with the mayor. But I'm really liking it. I'm liking the two girls as they work together. I'm curious how the cat's gonna come in because the little blurb is be prepared, respect the dead, and always have a cat. But I do really like her dynamics with her ancestors, considering since she doesn't have that much family that's still alive. So I am really liking that. But I just think it's a really, really fun story. I'm definitely enjoying this more than I did the Tales of Prospero Ruedo that I read, I think like last year. That was the Alexandra Bracken series. I definitely liked the first book a lot more than the second book. But I'm going to go back to reading. I also do have a panel I'm attending later today with the cast of Boy Meets World. So I'm really excited about that. That was like one of my favorite shows growing up. So I'm going to go back to reading Ghost Squad, and I might work out. It's kind of pouring, raining, so I don't think I'm going to go for like an actual bike ride unless it stops raining. But I might do like another workout. But I'm going to go read Ghost Squad, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. It's about 107, and I did wind up reading to page 121 in Ghost Squad. It's just such a fun book. I really have always loved ghost stories, especially during Halloween. I really crave towards them. I haven't read a lot of them, but I really do like ghosts as like an element of stories. I read a few more recently. Like I read the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare, which had some ghost elements. I read Shadow School recently that had ghost elements, and I'm about to read another one next. But I really do like the diversity in this read. I like how she's pulling from her Dominican heritage. I think that that's super fun. I like that it has two girls as like a lead. There's just a lot happening in this book, and I feel like I wish that there was like fewer plot points, just because like it's just a lot that is happening. But I really am liking it. I'm really curious like where the book's gonna go. It's not that long, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and I'm gonna play a little bit of Animal Crossing. And then I'm gonna dive back into my book. So when I catch up and I get up to page like 150, I'll probably update you guys. But I am gonna play Animal Crossing for a little bit because I want to see what the next adventure is. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here, just checking back in. It is 2:30. I am going to attend the Boy Meets World after panel. I missed the first part of the panel, but I'm really excited. I love those actors so much. I was very happy. I was very excited when they revamped the series, and then was really upset when it got canceled. But I'm really happy that I'm gonna be able to watch that panel, and all the money that raised for the stuff like the on stay at home things always goes to charity, and I've been trying to find ways to donate in like a safe way. So any ones that I'm even like remotely interested in, I do because I feel like the money goes to a good place. But I did wind up getting up to page 160 in Ghost Squad. I really am liking this book. It's so charming. This is a book I honestly might just keep for Halloween and like reread it during Halloween because I'm always looking for creepy books to read during the Halloween season, and I was pretty successful last year. But I'm really liking it. A new person has come in to the story as like a member of the Ghost Squad that I'm really liking. I feel like the back elements of Coco Ghostbusters, and it's very, very spooky and a sweet novel. I think it's very, very cute, and I really am liking it. I definitely am liking the elements of the ghost house and the ghost hunting. I really can't wait to see how this book ends and what is the tail end of it. But it's so sweet. So I'm going to keep reading up until my Boy Meets World panel. And then I will probably finish this probably today. I don't have a lot left, but I am really, really liking it. So I'm going to go do that. And I'll talk to you guys after my Boy Meets World panel. Bye, guys. Here, it's about 4 o'clock. I did wind up doing the Boy Meets World panel, which was through Donors Choose, which donated some money, and that was really, really fun. I've never actually seen Ryder Strong in person, so it was nice to see him and Trina and Danielle. I have met Danielle and Mr. Feeney before. I went to both their book signings. But I have never seen any of the other ones, and that is definitely one of my favorite shows of all time. I love Boy Meets World so much. But yeah, but I did wind up getting to page 200 in Ghost Squad. It's such a cute read. I really am liking it. I think it's a very, very fun read. One that kind of mixes ghost hunting with also Dominican history. And it's just two young girls that have a really fun bond. And then you have a grandmother and a cat. And I think that that's just a nice dynamic. But I do like that the girls are definitely in charge of the story. I think that that's really important. But I also do like that the adults do have a very important aspect in these books, because sometimes I feel like in middle grade you either have adults that are super involved, like the Keeper of the Lost City series, or adults that are not involved at all, I don't know, there's some other series I've read that the adults just vanish, and I don't think that that's realistic to kids, because then I think it shows kids well, then adults can't help you, and I think that that's sometimes a bad message. But I do like a balance. Ice Wolves is another one that has those elements, and then the kids do have a little bit of independence. But I am liking this book a lot. So I have about, I think according to Goodreads, I think my arc has 230, so I have about 30 pages left. So I'm gonna go tackle the rest of this. I have to watch a couple more reading vlogs, and I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight. I was a little bit tired last night and fell asleep, so I still do have to watch a couple of my episodes, but I also want to watch all of the CW shows, so I'm really unsure what I'm going to watch. But first things up, all the reading vlogs. Reading vlogs I have been neglecting. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Lori here. I'm back. I just want to say that I did want to finish in Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega. This was a book that I wound up reading for the TBR and Beyond reading group. They're doing a middle grade reading challenge, and one of the prompts was you had to read a book that had a G or an M in it. I found this book to be so charming. I really did. I thought it was so fun. It was a really, really fun read. I read this in about a day. I just thought it was really, really fun. It basically follows these two little girls, and Lucia, I think is how you say her name. She's very invested in ghosts, and her dad runs a haunted house. And they accidentally wind up casting a spell when the ghosts in her house, something happened to them, and it winds up leading to a lot of consequences. But the tail end really did remind me of the TV show Charm, but ancestors. This had a lot of Dominican history elements, which I really liked. This book was more about the ghost elements. I'm curious if we'll ever get a sequel or a companion book that focuses on on her friend Sid, because there was a revelation about her towards the end. I just found this book to be very, very fun. I thought that the side characters were super fun. I like the elements of a haunted house. I thought it was done very, very well. So I ended up giving this book 3.5, 4 stars, and will definitely read more by this author in the future. When I started this reading vlog, I was going to read the Screaming Staircase from Lock & Co, because it was one of the pinned reads in that group, but I figured I had read 3 ghost books in 1 week, and I was really looking at that list. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to physically read A Royal Guide to Monster Saying by Kelly Armstrong. I do have the audiobook of it, but this weekend looks pretty dreary, so I might not actually wind up listening to it, but right now I'm 24 pages into it when I was listening. So it basically follows this girl named Rowan. She has a twin brother named, I think his name is Reed, I think. And basically in this society, the first person born is always the ruler, and the second person born is always is always like a warrior, I guess, like in this family line. And the brother is more akin to being a leader, and she's more akin to being like a warrior, but the birth order is kind of set in stone. But she really does want to be she really does want to like do her brother's job in a sense. So one day her brother winds up going on an adventure to find a griffin, and she will not have that. She does not want to be kept at home. She thinks her brother's going to get really, really hurt. So she goes out to kind of find him, and that's kind of where the book starts. I read about 24 pages of it, and I was captured, so I think I'm going to keep reading this. I also do have a lot of like errandy stuff to do because it is the end of the month for like my channel and stuff, so I'm going to probably spend like 20 to 30 minutes doing my Instagram stuff and kind of prepping stuff for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a big errandy day for me, and I do have off of work on Monday, so I'm kind of trying to balance my life a little bit. But it is like a disgusting day out, so it's actually not that bad to do it. But, so I did find a way to finish reading Ghost Squad, and I will start a royal guide to monster slaying, but I do want to prep my Instagram photos right now. So I'm going to go do that, see if I can do any of my other little prep stuff, and then tomorrow I'm going to finish it. So I will check in with you guys when I'm done with my little errands. I have a lot of stuff I have to do, but I'm going to do a couple of them right now. That's my plan of attack, and I'll check in with you guys when I dive back into a royal guide to monster slaying. Bye. Here, I'm checking back in. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I did wind up reading about 50 pages in a royal guide to monster slaying. I'm still really liking this book. It definitely has turned into more like a questing element, or like a more like of an adventure story. But yeah, I'm actually really liking that part. I'm liking that the twins are having interactions with each other. That is something that I'm really liking. And I'm just liking how we're also learning a lot more about the characters in this world. Rowan has developed a little friend, a jackalope, and I think that's just a cute dynamic. But I really do like what they're saying about boy and girl dynamics. I think it's super fun. So I'm going to keep reading, and I'll report back when I make a little more progress. They have found the animal that they have hunting, so I'm really curious to see what happens, especially because this is the animal that killed her father. So very excited. I'm going to keep reading. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, just checking back in. I actually decided to do a late night workout, which I don't normally do, but I really didn't do anything today because it rained all day, and then it like legit rained like all day. So I couldn't go outside, and I couldn't go for any walks, which I normally do because even when we're being quarantined, I like to get out and enjoy the fresh air, but I wasn't able to do that today because it literally rained from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. There was no time, and then by the time I was out drinking, it was like dark. So I did wind up doing a workout. I actually highly recommend Mad Fit. That's a YouTube channel that I've been following since I've been home. Normally, in my real life, I go to the gym 3 times a week, and then I do go to my yoga studio like on the weekends. But because all the gyms are shut down, my yoga studio is still providing like online classes, which I've been taking since March. So I haven't actually ever lost my yoga studio, which has been amazing, and I'm so happy that they're still doing that. And the only good thing about being home so much is I do get to bike ride, and I bike ride a lot earlier in the year than I normally do because I normally have my production up until May, and I'm so busy. So I've been bike riding, but the rain has been killing me because it's been raining so much, and that was actually a problem we had last year too. I got caught in a monsoon during BEA and BookCon. So I did actually do a late minute workout. It wasn't actually that long, but my abs are like the worst part of me. Like I have no abs, so I was trying to like do that. Hopefully tomorrow it will be less rainy, so I can go for a workout. We will see. But that is the beauty of YouTube. There's always something, there's always some workout you can do. But I did I read about like 10 more pages of the Royal Guide to Monster Slaying, and I was like caught very off guard. This is really a book for young kids who love battles. I'll say that, like especially battles with creatures, because there's a lot of them. If you really like if your child or you as a reader really like the Fablehaven series, I think you'd like this. It definitely involves a lot more of monster slaying or monster battling, but they do have a very strong respect for the characters too, which is something that I really do thoroughly enjoy. So I'm really excited to see what happens to Rowan and Rid. So I'm gonna go keep reading. I'm in the middle of watching Cassidy Vonage's vlogs. So happy she is back. She is the first YouTuber that I ever watched, booktuber I ever watched. She inspired me to start my channel 5 years ago. I'm so happy she's back with content, and I'm so happy that she's like back because I like watching her, and I hope she does some more reading content in the future. And then I have two more vlogs to watch. But I'm gonna make some progress. This is really not that long of a book. It's only like 260 pages, so I think I could probably finish this by tomorrow. But I'm not rushing, so I'm gonna go take care of that, read a bit, and before I head to bed tonight, I'll update you guys. Bye. Here, just checking back in. I did wind up reading about page 90 in A Royal Guide to Mantra Slaying. This book took a very interesting turn, I'll say that. Like, it went in a way like I was totally not expecting, but I'm liking that. It's dealing with a lot more political stuff than I was expecting, and it's really changing the dynamics between what people expect of this boy and girl, especially in regards to who is going to be king and queen and who is going to be the monster slayer. It's also dealing with like a lot of political stuff, and I'm liking that. I think it's really fascinating and really compelling. I also like how they're also diving into these magical creatures in like a really, really fun way. I read about 100 pages, and this book definitely went in a direction I was not expecting. Like, I'll say this was like probably one of the more surprising middle grade reads I read this month. Like, it's very different from what the book I was expecting, but I'm really liking it. So I'm going to stop reading for the night. I'm going to try to watch my episodes of Agent Carter Pitch and Avatar The Last Airbender because I didn't do that at all today. I had a lot of YouTube videos to catch up on, especially because this week I had a lot of stuff to do for work. So I'm going to go do that, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow morning before I go to my yoga class. Bye, guys. Alright, I'm back. It is a much prettier day that it's not raining, so I do have hope that I will be able to attempt a bike ride later. But I did wind up reading up to page about 100 in A Royal Guide to Monster Slaying by Kelly Armstrong. The book definitely took an unexpected twist, which I'm really liking. I'm curious to see like where the book ends. Rowan definitely is going on a mini adventure, and she has her animal companions with her. She has her little jackalope that she found, and she has her aunt's werebeast, I guess, and they're kind of going on an adventure. But I'm really liking it. I love books about animals. I love books about characters that can almost speak to animals. I really am liking this book. It's very, very sweet. But yeah, I have to go to yoga. Well, I'm going to go to yoga in like a half an hour. And then I'm probably going to see what the day is like. I'm either going to film some videos today or I'm going to film some videos tomorrow. But I do have to film a bunch because it is the end of May, and I do have to film a few things, so I'm probably going to do that either today or tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of, and then I caught up on YouTube videos, watching them anyway, so it means I'm probably going to finish watching all the CW shows, because I think that they all ended last week. So yeah, that's kind of my plans for today. But I'm going to go finish doing some posts on my Instagram and on my books and on my blog to get those posts pressed, go to yoga, and then I'll check back in. Bye, guys. Here, just checking back in. I did wind up going for a bike ride, and I did wind up getting up to like page 125 in A Royal Guide to Monster Slaying by Kelly Armstrong. This book definitely has taken some unexpected twists and turns that I'm really enjoying. Definitely, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite middle grade books that I've read this month so far. Like, and I've read quite a few. But I'll definitely recap them all in a roundup, like all together. I'll do that all together, but I'm really liking it. I love the new characters. I love the girl in the lead. I love that she has a twin. I love the political drama. Really, really liking it. It's definitely, this book has it has smaller print than the other books I read this month, so I'm reading it like at a much slower pace, but thoroughly liking it. I also have the audiobook, which is what I'm going to keep listening to, because I have to figure out my TBR for the month of June, and that's going to be a little bit of a process. I have to take out all the books on my TBR cart, which I do like every couple of months, but because we're starting the summer season and I want to read a lot of contemporaries, I really need to like redo my TBR cart, so I'm going to do that, see how long that takes me, and then I'm probably going to film my June TBR once I have my cart all set up. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll check in and let you know how much listening progress I got to. It's probably going to take me like some time because I have some books on here that I've had since like literally since September. I mean, not September, since like January. So I want to really like reconfigure my TBR and figure out what I want to focus on. I also have some library books that I really should read because I should probably bring them back when the library opens, but I want to like read them. So I'm probably going to focus on that, and then I'm probably going to dive back into physically reading this and hopefully tackling it. So that is my plan. I still don't know what I'm going to read this week, the last week of May. I have some ideas, but again, all up in the air. So I'm going to go work on organizing my TBR cart, and I'll check in with you guys when that's done. Bye, guys. Okay, that didn't actually take me that long to do. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer, but I did actually set up my TBR cart, and I think I'm going to go film that video. But yeah, so that didn't take me that long, but I did redo my whole TBR cart. So I have very few books. I think I only have like 4 books that were still on my TBR from the previous month, but I'm trying to do a lot of contemporary, but also like leave in some fantasy. So I go film that video, and then I will report back about what are my plans for the rest of the day. Bye. Lori here, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update on a royal guide to monster slaying before I go on my bike ride, because it was a really, really bad weather day yesterday, so I only got to go on one bike ride, so I really want to push myself and try to go on another one. And I also have the audiobook of this, so I think I can make a little bit more reading progress. Right now, I'm like 77% done with it, and I'm on chapter 26. I'm really, really loving this book. Like, it has some of my favorite tropes. I love twins. I love girls subverting tropes. I love animals that act more like characters. I'm really, really liking it. I love it. I love it. It has a lot of like elements of questing. And I just think that it's really, really fun. There's some elements I wish that were a little bit stronger, but again, it's only like a 300-page book, but I'm thoroughly, thoroughly enjoying it. Like, I really love all the different creatures. I'm very, very fond of this. We're also getting like a wider cast of characters than I was like necessarily expecting, but it's very, very solid. So I'm going to go for my bike ride. I'm going to try to listen to at least 5 more chapters, and then I'm probably going to come in and probably finish it. I do want to tackle the rest of my CW shows and at least catch up. That's my plan. I'm going to go for my bike ride, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Lori here. I'm actually here to wrap up this reading vlog. I'm going to do a 24-hour readathon vlog tomorrow. Well, today into tomorrow, but I wanted to wrap this up. I actually did, for the first time ever, wound up completing a TBR and Beyond reading challenge, which I'm so proud of myself because I never get to do it. I'm also super happy that it was about middle grade books, because those are the books that I'm the most interested in, but always I don't tend to read a lot of. So I was happy that I had a month where I got to read a lot of them. So the first book I wound up finishing for this reading vlog was Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega. This was actually the group book. I found this to be such a fun read. I really enjoyed it. Wound up giving it 4 stars. I really liked it. I liked how it was a mix of ghosts, haunted houses, and strong female friendships. I really, really enjoyed it. Wound up giving this 4 stars. The next book I finished was A Royal Guide to Monster Slaying by Kelly Armstrong. I love this book. I gave this book like 4.75 stars. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. It might even be a 5-star read for me. It was just such a fun read that mixed some of my favorite tropes: found family, twins, animals that act more like people. I love this book. I thought that the pacing was so great. I love the character. I love how the elements of this book changed so dramatically through it. I just loved the creatures. I thought the creatures were so fun, and I really loved Rowan as a character. This book was so unexpected and was one that really took me by surprise, and I wound up really, really enjoying it. I really loved both these reads. I think this book would be a great book to read around around Halloween, because it has ghosts. This is one that I think you could read anytime. It was a great adventure story, one that I had a super hard time putting down. So this weekend I wound up reading about, about 500 pages between these two, because they weren't that long. If I had to choose a favorite, I think this one probably won out just a little bit, but I really enjoyed both of them. I'm going to go figure out my next reading vlog. I hope you guys are staying safe and being well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.